has the agenda in front of you. All the normal things up front: approval of minutes, treasurer's reports, approval of bills for all the accounts, accounting of taxes, student recognition. We'll have student recognition, then public recognition, enrollment, 1998, which is up 7, 8 kids more than we finished with.
I think that's still in May 12.
Oh, is that May 12?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she
that was
for the
May
new,
12.
I don't think they
Okay.
got it yet for this year.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We do
Today's
first,
Thursday.
second, third, and 10th day enrollments. Winter sports passes admission. That's the same as it's been for a very long time. And people seem to really enjoy being able to buy a family pass for an entire season, which is great. And we want as many fans and family members here as we possibly can. So that's good. PSBA election. And that was that's something that we had done in the past where we chose to unanimously support somebody in the election. Quite honestly, I don't know even who's out there.
There's a couple of people that are running for office. I did send it in the packet that went home last week. You can choose to vote if you want to vote. We don't have to, but we have to. I have to notify them if we're not going to vote. But there's a president-elect, there's a vice president, and then there's an at-large position, a 3-year term. No, that one says no one is running for this seat.
Right, there was one,
Yeah.
and they were all unopposed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all useless.
What do
I
they
wouldn't
do
vote
for
for
us?
any. I'm not
Those are
voting
board.
for
Those are board
This
members.
organization.
At one point there was a local that
There
was
are
running our
representatives, so I
area.
could say that. They are the worst representatives.
Rose,
They
excuse
represent.
me, could I have the names of those people that are running?
Sure.
Well, no, just verbally, just tell me.
They're all useless.
President-elect
In your
Michael
opinion,
They're all
Fascinetto.
useless.
Michael Fascinetto,
What school district?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem area. The vice president is David Hutchinson from State College. And then there's PSBA Insurance Trust trustees. There's a William McCough, a Kathy Swope, and a Mark Miller running for trust.
Thank
Those
you.
are the names.
You want my sheet?
Again, what do they do for us? I mean, what is
They're
their job?
they're existing board members who sit on the statewide Pennsylvania School Boards Association board.
And they're the ones that should be
There should be.
lobbying for us to
That's
get more
correct.
money.
That's
And evidently they're not doing a very good job, because they don't get any more money.
Well, they don't have a very strong voice with the legislature, which is a nice way of
As I
saying
said
it.
years ago, they're the worst lobbyists out of all lobbyists, they're the worst out there. They've never done nothing for school boards, for the educational system in the state of Pennsylvania. They work for themselves, they make a salary.
Do they draw salary?
No,
that we
those,
support?
these elected officials do not.
No, they don't, I'm
They
sorry.
don't, but
Solicitors
the
and
administration
sort
of that is.
They're attorneys and all that, and they got
Yep.
several,
Yep.
and they work for themselves, they make a nice income.
There was a local that ran it like 2 years ago, I think the last 2 years, and he did vote because he was a local.
That was the
board
gentleman
member,
from
Jim
up
Mulholland.
at, yeah, who was
Right,
on the
he's not on
NEIU
any
board.
of these lists
Yeah,
for
I think
this
Mr.
coming year.
Smedley from Carbondale, I got to vote for a month or so ago when I went over to that meeting that they had. He's like he's a Region 2 representative now, Dr. Smedley, but these guys here, I mean.
So I guess our answer, are we voting or are we not voting? This is what we have to decide. If we want to vote, we just have to tell them we're going to vote. If we're not going to, we just tell them we're not. So don't wait for our ballot to
If
come.
we are gonna vote, we have to vote at this meeting because it's due the end of September. So we'd have to do it before next year. So.
Well,
we want to
and the
vote,
reality is
sit down
all the
and-
positions are unopposed, so whoever's on the ballot is going to win.
So it doesn't matter anyway, so I'm all for not voting for them, and because they don't do nothing for us, and
I know the dog
let them
is
win.
out here.
Yeah, so. But it's up to you guys.
I'll say don't vote either, just to show our disapproval.
And that's an excellent point, Gary. You don't work for us, why should we give you an opportunity to get our vote?
Okay, so we'll decline to vote.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have a problem, Roche, you made a good point. If somebody locally wants to get involved, that we have an opportunity
And I
that we
think that's what
know.
we've done it the past couple of
Yeah,
years.
somewhere up in this area here that we may know or like what their ideas are, but,
All right, I will notify them, thank you.
All the handbooks are on the agenda again, and there were some corrections and a good point made at the last meeting by AJ about why women's and men's basketball different, and that's now been corrected. And if there were any other questions of any of the handbooks that you got in the last meeting, and or this one's back, just give us a holler between now and then, and we'll be able to research it so we can approve the handbooks at the September 12th meeting. Okay? Transportation contracts are here. We did, Kathy Hershey and Ellen Muller and Chrissy Thorpe and myself, the three of them did, Kathy did the lion's share of the work, and she did a great job. We've adjusted a number of them. We're still, it's a work in progress, and it always will be, because, well, the one day when we had them finalized, we had 17 new students enroll that day, which changed things dramatically. So, and we will have a scenario of ongoing looking at ways to try to make it better for the student rides and to equalize out the loads for everybody from a contractor standpoint. So, but they're done. We actually have, surprisingly, not surprisingly, but a very good day. I mean, we received a couple dozen phone calls in the morning, and in the evening, unless you got inundated at the elementary schools, there were maybe 15 more calls. And that's pretty amazing when we're talking about transporting 2,000 students, roughly. So, it's worked out well. We did have a meeting with the contractors two Fridays ago, which went very well. A lot of questions and answers, a lot of information shared. People seemed relatively happy that we were trying to do our best to be fair and reasonable with everybody, and from a contractor standpoint, and trying to figure out a way to get the kids' routes shortened. Now, one issue that we do have this year, which is unusual, we have 3 detours right now. And they're hard detours. One today was just put up today as a day-to-day detour, and that's the back gate of the hideout, which is a big issue because there's a lot of kids and a lot of vehicles that travel that road, Avoy Road between Golf Park and Miller Road. And so that's a big one. The St. Ticon's Road, where it floods every time that it rains really hard, they finally built it up. Got a call this afternoon at about 4 o'clock from PennDOT. It looks like that's going to be done Friday. They told us they thought it would be done for today, and it wasn't. We told everybody, plan on it for the following week, but they built that road up about 3.5 feet. So
there was
now,
an article in the paper also I read about the St. Ticon's project.
And the new guy at PennDOT in Homestead calls me at home, calls me on my cell phone. He's been very responsive, saying, we need to, just want to let you know that here's where we are today. He called it at 4 o'clock, and we're finishing, and we think we're finishing Thursday night, but worst case is Friday morning. And that's been a really difficult road for many, many years, because every time it did rain more than a couple inches, it flooded. And so, that the good news is that work is now taken care of. There's another bridge replacement on Ariel Creek off of Ledgedale Road. And there's one out in Maplewood. And there's another one on 296 that is scheduled to be started in October. So there was a chance we're going to have 4 detours all at one time, and they chew up a lot of time, especially with the buses, because of there aren't a lot of places to turn around. So,
we had a problem a few years ago down here going toward the split off 296. And I think we had a problem after they redid it because they didn't dredge the river at all, the creek or whatever it is when they did the bridge. And I think we still had a problem there with that one time. And we weren't able to get through there. So
this,
pay attention to that one anyway.
Yeah, where that's down here at Varda.
Yes.
That floods too. We haven't had that flood since they put the new bridge in. Yeah, so, yeah, we won't go there.
You got
Yeah,
property.
Yeah, we're not, yeah.
so,
Oh, by the way, it's the eighth inning, and you're pitching a no-hitter. So-
I have one question,
Mhm.
one possibility. With the hideout, I know the buses come into the back gate
Mhm.
and pick up all the kids there.
Mhm.
Now, you're gonna have to reroute them, right? Correct? Because they won't be able to come down from like Lake Aragon,
Yeah, we can get to the back gate, and then turn around and go back out the same direction
Okay.
that we're going. And that is supposed to be a 5 or 6 day fix.
As long as we're not running Miller Road with all the trucks. I mean, if they can, because if they can't, you can see them send them right straight through the hideout and then the gate open. I don't know if they ever ran Miller Road with some of those truck drivers, it's not very.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a.
Well, that's a good point made, Gary. 296 with these trucks running, and they're cruising, and if you can get PSP, the boys here to call up and have somebody just cruise by and slow them down a little bit, they're really going at it.
Yeah, it's a good point, though. It might be advantageous for us to go in the back gate and go right out in front. But then we're talking really extending the times on those. But for 6 days, we extend the time for safety. Okay, good point. Transportation, we did meet with Pocono Springs, and we are going into Pocono Springs now as well. Which was, they were thrilled. They went to, the parents group went to the board with what our request is, which is the same for all of our developments. Holding us harmless, naming us as a certificate holder on their policies, requiring the security guard in the car to be there at the stop location. In the Pocono Springs, it's an extra just shy of 3 miles to the stop inside the old baseball field, which is now a big playground, and the mailboxes are there. And the good part about that is it's an enormous area that now doesn't have a lot of traffic because there's no baseball field anymore. And it's an easy turnaround. And there are 3 security cameras right there at the stop, and it's still having the security from the development being there as well. We've worked with the community manager, Pat. But the parent, and it's worked out well. Contractors are aware of it, they went in, they test drove it. It added some time to the route because it's now 6 miles longer, but they're the first stop, so it inconvenienced them. So the people have to get to the ball field, and the ball field is centrally located right in the heart of that development's portion in our Stoughton Township. Most of them had 3 miles or more to get out to the main gate. So, and that central location seems certainly more convenient for kids to walk home from there. And the roads in there were phenomenal. They're way better than almost 90% of the roads in the district. Yeah. So they're happy with this. We went down and spent some time and got that all arranged. Everybody seems to be pretty happy that we're now doing that. Okay.
Joe, would you be able to have your new transportation administrative assistant give an email to the board with all the changes that have been to the transportation for this year? So we all have it, instead of going over it, verbally right now or in a meeting.
We'll it'll give us a little bit of time
As you
to
said,
do
you
that.
did change.
Oh, there's a lot of changes. I mean, well, every year the vans change dramatically anyway, just because of special needs
Well, not
kids.
necessarily the vans, but the routes, especially with the buses.
The bus routes, okay, yeah.
If you could just have that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Can you give us a couple days for that?